Hey there, everybody. I'm glad you could all make it to my parents' 26th wedding anniversary. I'd like to just congratulate Greg and Olivia for being together for so long, since marriage is sometimes a very hard thing in this country. There's a lot of forces that are pushing couples apart, and I'm just so happy for them that they can stay together for so long. I'd like to start off with a little bit of an introduction for my dad. Dad, you are a crazy guy. You are a risk taker, you're hilarious, you're hardworking, and you're a guy who likes to enjoy his drinks slowly. 26 years ago, you were 26, so you've been married for half your life, and you were walking with a friend, and you met a slender woman with wavy brown hair and big brown eyes, and you became her friend. And 15 days later, you asked her for her hand in marriage. You hadn't even known each other for 2 weeks, but you went ahead and you picked this woman out of all these other women you had known, and you decided to marry her on the spot. And when I heard that story, I thought, Dad, what is wrong with you? I can't believe that you would be so reckless as to take this woman who you barely met, who is practically a stranger, who your parents don't like, who her parents don't like you, and to ask her to be your wife. And he tells me, but son, when you know it's the right person, you'll know the love will come. I took that risk, he said. And he said, I'm going to learn to love her, and she'll learn to love me too. And they did. And my dad has been happy ever since. And I'm glad that he took that risk. Because without that risk, I wouldn't be here today, and he wouldn't be here either. Because he's just a risk-taking kind of guy. He has always been taking risks. He left my mom with 2 children in Mexico to come to this country to make a better life for himself and for them. He came in the dead of winter. He had never seen snow before in his entire life. He came to Portland in the dead of winter, homeless. He spent 5 days on the streets of Portland looking for a job. 6 inches of snow. I'm not sure if that's an accurate figure, but 6 inches of snow on the ground. A man who had never seen snow, and a man who only had the clothes on his back. And maybe about $20 is what he said. Now, if that's not the biggest risk in the world, I don't know what is. To risk everything you have, to come to a country you don't know the language, to come to a climate you're not used to with just a sweater. You've never owned a heavy coat because it's never been below 80 degrees. And you suddenly step into a freezer. And you have to be homeless for 5 days until someone can give you a job. Now, as for my mom, you're stubborn and you're tough, but you're always right. Ever since I was a kid, you've always been there in a mean, tough love way. I'm not going to say my mom is very soft and loving or caring, but she's always been there for me when it mattered. And not in the kind of hugs from when you get home from school or kisses when you do something right, but in the way that I absolutely know that she loves me, or she appreciates what I do, or she's proud of me. You've always been there when I've always needed you. Every time I've been sick, you always yell at me for getting sick. It's your fault. You always get sick. You always never cover up your mouth, or you always eat the wrong stuff. You're sick from your son. And yeah, it's my fault. I'm a dumb kid. I put my hands in my mouth or whatever. But at the same time, she's there for me to take care of me. And even now as an adult, she still cooks for me. She still takes me to places and we hang out. And she's my mom. I can't say that she's not like there for me when I need her. So they're 2 old, grumpy people by themselves. My dad's pretty grumpy, my mom's pretty grumpy. But the beautiful thing about them is that my dad has a bad knee, my mom has a bad back. And so they don't actually go out and do much physical activity. They pretty much just go to work and come home. But for some reason, whenever they're together, it seems like they just shaved off 20 years. My dad twirls her in the middle of the street, or my dad will run up to her and try to pick her up. She's not what she used to be. She used to weigh 130, so she's a little bit on the heavier side now, but at least he tries, because there's that love there. And I can't imagine a better example of love than to meet someone and figure out how to love them over time and try to meet those challenges with them. So I want to congratulate them. I'm just going to grab my champagne here and say a toast to you guys for another 26 years, guys. Thank you.